morning. Happy Thursday. Happy wall day. Here's Bodhi with us, and let me make sure I am seen and heard. Give me 1 second. Otherwise, hello. We need 2 blocks and a blanket for today. A strap or a little strap equivalent is optional. And yes, it is a nice breeze here. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you. Yes, today is a beautiful, crisp day here in New Hampshire. I don't know what it's like where you in Boston or if you're streaming from somewhere else, but all the humidity is gone and it's so nice. Um, all right, so let's do some yoga at the wall today. So as you know, every Thursday I've been teaching at the wall, and we've just been exploring, similar shapes that we do on a yoga mat, now on a yoga mat with the wall. And the wall is just an extra prop. You know how we have blocks, wall can be an extra tool to kind of help us fine tune the alignment because the wall is a nice flat surface. And sometimes when we can push into the wall, that will engage new muscles that you weren't engaging before. And then that can inform your practice away from the wall. Also, the wall is like, um, it won't let you cheat. Sometimes you get into a shape and um, your body wiggles out of it because it's uncomfortable or the sensation is too strong. Or it seems like, well, if I move just this way, oh, the shape is so much easier. That must be it. But usually that means you're out of the shape. So anytime you wiggle out and it gets easier, usually you're moving away from the shape as opposed to towards the shape. But with the wall kind of will keep you a little bit more honest. All right, guys, so hopefully you have your props and let's get going. So we're gonna start on our bellies and have yourself on your belly so that your feet are touching the wall and you're gonna face away from the wall. And I have my blanket here as a little bit of padding underneath my pelvis. Sometimes my bones in the front of my pelvis get a little bit cranky on a hard surface. And then if you can see, I'm going to tuck my toes under and press the ball mount of my foot through the heel into the wall. And then let's just start right here in a Sphinx pose with your legs activated in this shape with the heels pressing into the wall, toes tucked under. And then lift your belly up slightly so that the low belly is trying to go against gravity and hug up towards your low back. Soften the shoulders. Just gently swinging ball on a rope. Let the head swing side to side. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Good. And then go ahead, lower down onto a crocodile shape. So forehead resting on your hands and keep pressing the heels of your feet into the wall, toes tucked under. And I kind of scooched myself a little bit closer so that I had more emphasis through the legs. And my heels are pushing into the wall so much that my thigh bones are lifted off the floor, knees are lifted off the floor, shin bones off the floor, and I feel the whole underside of my leg awake. So keep that action going in your legs. Now push into your palms and lift the head and chest slightly and try to drag your navel towards your thumbs. And keep the hands down so you have that axis by pushing with the palms and trying to drag the navel forward and then lower yourself down. So this is a stretch for the psoas muscle, which is a deep internal core muscle. Inhale, lift. Try to pull your navel to your thumbs, push the heels into the wall, and as you exhale, lower. 5 more times, just like this. Inhale, lift. Try to pull yourself to your hands, push the heels back. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, pull forward. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lift, pull, and this time stay up and walk your elbows over to the right. So you're coming into a side bend. And as you walk to the right, press back through your left heel. And now you're dragging your belly button diagonally over to the right. I don't think you guys can see Bodhi, can you? But he is like adorably curled up with his nose pointing at me. So he's quite cute and motivating in this moment. So hopefully you have something near you just as motivating as well. And then come back through center and walk your elbows off to the left. So it's a side bend now for the right side, and really push fiercely back through the right heel and try to drag your belly button over towards your forearms. And just 2 more breaths. And then walk the elbows back to center, lower yourself down, bend your knees, and just rock the feet side to side. Let that go. There was a lot of stretching for the psoas, right? And the psoas is one of the most internal muscles in the core. It's a hip flexor and can definitely get short and weak from sitting, if you're sitting all day. So it's actually my favorite muscle to work on. Good. And then when you're ready, let's come on up onto our hands and knees. And now set up the blanket so it's padding your knees. And set up yourself so that the knees are on the blanket and your feet again are still touching the wall. And then take one of your blocks and place the block in between your upper inner thighs on the most narrowest width. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders for a tabletop, but the feet are very active because the toes are flexed and the heels are pushing into the wall. Spread the fingertips wide, reach the thumb and your pinky finger away from each other. Imagine your thumb and the pinky are on one line, so they have 180 degrees angle between them, so they're really spread wide. And then hug your block with your inner thighs. Keep the block hugging. Inhale to arch the spine. As you exhale, round. Keep pushing the heels into the wall. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. And keep going. Inhale, always hugging the block. And exhale. So we're just warming up the back a little more, waking up the core. Spreading the fingertips, stretching the palm. And one more time. Good. And then release the block off to the side and pick up your right foot so that your knee can touch the wall and the shin is pushing into the wall. And look underneath, make sure the knee is no higher than the hip. And just feel that action of pushing shin bone into the wall. And then when you're ready, you can reach your left arm forward. So this is a place where the wall will not let you cheat, right? It's going to keep you honest and keep your hips steady and level. And then as you reach the left arm forward, see if you can hug your left hip towards the wall a little more. Good. One more breath. And then keep everything the same. Just sweep your left arm off to the left. And exhale, curl under. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale to curl, hopefully feeling something in the core. Inhale and exhale. Good. Release your left hand. Release the right knee next to your left knee. And let's go right into the twist. Reach the left arm up and exhale, thread the needle. Now keep the feet active and press the feet into the wall. This will again keep you honest and allow the hips to stay level with one another as opposed to wiggle out of the twist. And ideally your shoulder is lining up down the center line, somewhere in between. If you drew a line from between your knees forward, and tuck your chin so the back of the neck is long. And notice if your feet are pushing evenly into the wall, you may have a sense that your twist is not what it's normally, right? You might be able to go a lot deeper, but because your hips are being locked with your feet by pushing into the wall, now the twist is the true twist, which is very interesting, right? Like, so how much of the twist before was I doing just by wiggling my hips? Couple more breaths. This should feel really nice. You can stretch the top arm long overhead if that feels good, and use that arm as like a little leverage. Feet are very active. Keep pushing through the feet into the wall. Okay. And then bring the right hand back by your nose. Lift yourself up and release the left hand down. Good. Keep the belly engaged. Inhale for cow pose. And exhale, round for cat pose. Good. And then let's do that to the left side. So place your left knee to the wall so that the shin and knee are pushing into the wall. Peek under. Make sure the knee is no higher than your hip. Spread the fingertips wide right underneath the shoulders. Let the thumb and pinky really spread apart. That's it. And then when you're ready, reach the right arm forward. Now right foot, left shin is pushing against the wall, keeping the pelvis stable, neutral, and level. And now you can really extend through this right side. And just a hint of your right hip moving back to the wall. One more breath. The core should be working very hard to stabilize. And then sweep the right arm off to the right. As you exhale, curl under. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then place your right hand down. Bring the left knee next to the right knee. Stretch the right arm up and thread the needle underneath your left shoulder. Now keep your feet pushing into the wall, heels push into the wall, and reach the left fingertips up overhead. Again, ideally your shoulder and head are landing on the center line that is drawn from between the knees to the crown of the head. And keep your chin close so that you can keep the back of the neck long. And then notice here how you feel in this twist. And maybe you're used to, again, going a lot deeper at the, at the movement of the hips, but because the hips now are anchored through the feet, through the wall, now the twist is truly in your upper spine, in the upper ribs. And keep breathing long in through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe stretch the left arm long. And bring the left hand back and unwind. That should feel good, right? A little rinse for the spine in the morning. Come back into your table. Keep the belly engaged. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round. Good. And let's go right into the downward facing dog. So heels touch the wall, toes on the floor, and spread the fingertips wide, palms forward. That's it. It's a nice short down dog. So we had request for core today. Always core is the message that I got. So let's do some. I mean, we've already been doing some really good deep core stuff. Let's get it up a little bit more. So if you're new to this practice, maybe staying here in down dog is already enough, and you can stay here or you can come back into tabletop and kind of work your way between those two shapes. If you're not new, then go ahead and walk your feet up into down dog inversion at the wall. And float your left leg high. As you exhale, keep the left leg nice and straight. Bend the right knee until the left foot just touches. And then sweep it up again. Bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight until it just touches the floor. One more time. And then this time, let it come all the way down. Back into down dog. Tap the knees down. Push the feet into the wall. Cow pose. Exhale, round cat pose. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Back in for the other side, downward facing dog. Either stay here if you're newer. If you are not new, go ahead, walk the feet up, L at the wall, and then reach the right leg up. Keep the leg straight, swing it through, soften the left knee until the right foot just touches. 2 more times. As you exhale, lower. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale. This time, let it come all the way down. Good. And then walk your hands to your feet, hips touch the wall. Move the feet a little away from the wall so you have some space and fold over the legs. Grab opposite elbow. Check out the head. Just let your upper body sway side to side. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to the hips. Come on up to stand. Give those arms a break. Reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands together to the heart. Good. Pause here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Let the shoulder blades drip down the back. Let's do a couple shoulder shrugs here. As you inhale, lift the shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze them back, and drag them down. One more time. Shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze them back, and drag them down. Good. Last time. Squeeze the shoulders up towards your ears, drag them back, and pull them down. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bow forward, fold over your legs. Good. And then set up your blanket while we're here at the base between the wall and the floor. And come on down into down dog at the wall. Take your right foot forward and bend your left knee down to the ground. And we're going to take a lunge with your knee between the wall and the floor. And your right foot is forward. And then if you'd like to have your 2 blocks handy, have your 2 blocks. And let's start with our hands down on the 2 blocks. I'm going to steal just a little sip of my tea. Really need to hydrate when you first wake up, right? Your body just went, hopefully through 8 hours of no drinking, hopefully 8, no less. So in the morning, you have to rehydrate, give that liquid for your body, for your cells. All right, so you're in a really nice lunge here, right? And because your knee is at the wall, might be a deeper lunge than you're used to first in the practice, but you guys know what we're up to. We're at the wall. We're really not kidding around. We're getting right to the good stuff. So a couple of breaths as you are. And just notice what it feels like to push the shin into the wall, the foot into the wall, the knee into the wall. Notice what kind of information that gives you for your stretch, right? How do you feel the thigh muscles? How do you feel the hip flexor muscles right in the front of that left hip, the left quads? These should all feel pretty intense in a good kind of way. Good. And then stay as you are and just take it into a twist. Reach the right arm up. And if you can, reach the right hand back to the wall and push the hand into the wall. And again, the wall is keeping you very honest, right? The hips are locked into place. You're pushing back foot into the wall. Right knees right over the right ankle. And you're twisting. That's it. A couple of breaths. See if you can hug your knee and your chest closer together. And then release. Come on out of the twist. Walk the hands a little higher if you have that capacity. Just getting deeper into the quad stretch. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and out. Good. And then bring the hands back down and take your knees down together. Come back into our tabletop. Inhale, arch the spine for cow pose. Exhale, round for cat pose. Good. Heels to the wall, toes to the floor for a short down dog. Good. Staying down dog or walk the feet up. L at the wall. So this is clearly building strength, right? Reach the left leg up. Swing it through. Core. And up. And back to the wall. Right leg up. Swing it through. Almost touch. Back up. Good. And come on down. That's it. And then step your left foot forward. Tap the right knee down and set up the right knee so that it's at the wall, wedged right in between the floor and the wall. That's it. And then start with your hands on the blocks. So nice supported lunge here. Right? This should feel pretty good. By good, I mean pretty intense, but if you know me, I tend to look for intense. I don't know why I do this, but I do. It's almost like if things are not intense, am I really living? Things are certainly intense now. Good. Couple more breaths as I sneak another sip. Feel the actions of pushing your right shin and foot into the wall. And just notice what kind of information do you get there for the right quad, the right hip flexors now. And then let's start to take the twist. Keep the right hand down, reach the left arm up. Keep pushing right foot into the wall, and then maybe take your left hand to the wall, fingertips reach as if they're going towards the right foot. But keep your left knee stacked right over your ankle, right shoulder, right over the right hand. Push right foot into the wall, and that will keep the hips level and honest. And see if you can hug rib cage and left knee towards each other. And a couple more breaths. Good. And then slowly come on out. If you have the capacity, walk the hands up higher, taking the stretch deeper into the quadriceps. Like I said, we're getting right into the good stuff, no kidding around when we're at the wall. Few breaths. Good. And then take the hands down. Take your left knee down, right knee down, tabletop. Push the feet against the wall. Inhale to arch. And exhale to round. Good. Push the hips up, heels to the wall, short down dog. All right, should we climb up again one more time? Spread the fingertips, walk yourself up, L at the wall. Let's do one last set. Reach the right leg up, bend and swing. Bring it back up. Left side, bend and swing. And step down with the left foot. Good. And walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold away from the wall. Separate the feet wider than the hips. And just let the legs shake it out. Let's come into a squat pose. Heels in, toes out. Let's give the inner thighs a little break. Inner thighs have been working hard, hugging into the midline. Because anytime we're pushing into the wall, the hips are very stable, and it means the inner legs are working very hard. So let's give the counter stretch for the inner legs. Let the tail be heavy. Press down through the heels as you lift the chest. It's a really nice stretch also for the chest, collarbones. See if you can make your wrists parallel to the ground. Elbows and knees hug against one another. And then release the hands. Bow forward and fold. All right, so let's go into a twist. Take your right foot to the wall, left foot to the ground. So like a supported warrior three, take the hands onto your blocks right underneath the shoulders. Make sure you peek underneath, and is your foot at the height of the hips? It does not need to be any higher. And then see if you can anchor your left hip crease towards your right heel so that there's this action of hugging in. Push the right foot into the wall and start to twist. Reach the left arm up. Keep sending left hip to the wall. Push the right foot into the wall. And then from the hips, reach forward and go up. Release your left hand down. Step your right foot down. Separate the feet hips distance wide. And let's release through Malasana. Or actually, this is more of a squat, less of a Malasana. A couple of breaths right here. Push elbows and knees against each other. Good. And then second side, bow forward. And let's bring, hello, Mr. Ant. All right. Step your left foot to the wall and peek under. Make sure the foot is no higher than the hip. And start in this supported warrior three, hands on the blocks. And then imagine the right hip moving towards the left foot. So the right side is getting a little bit longer. You should feel a really amazing stretch here in the outer strings. And then start to twist. Push down through the left palm and reach the right arm to the sky. So keep pushing left foot into the wall. Try to guide the right hip to the wall. And then from the hips, reach forward and go up. This has to be one of my favorite stretches at the wall, or one of my favorite asanas at the wall, because it really sets up the legs so nice so that the upper body can really experience the twist. And then come on out, right hand down, left foot down, feet wider than the hips, toes out. Back into squat and just acknowledge what you're feeling. Acknowledge the energy of the twist. Good. Hands down, bow forward, fold over your legs. Parallel your feet, hands to the hips, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Push through the ground as you rise to stand, reach up tall. And exhale, hands together at the heart. All right, let's turn around and face the wall, and we'll do the similar shape that we just did, but now in a different orientation. So step your left foot to the wall. That's it. So this is like Utthita Padahastasana, right? Where you're holding your big toe with your fingertips, but now you have the wall, and the wall can help you. So take a moment, just stabilize here, find your balance, and let the left hip drop a little bit towards the ground. Reach both arms up and start to turn left. And you can push the right hand to the wall and reach the left arm back. Now this hip keeps rolling down and out, but push forward through the foot and reach your left arm back. That should feel really nice. Both legs super strong, push through the ground, push into the wall. Good. And then come back up, reach the arms up. Lift the foot away from the wall, a little bit of core strength, and lower the foot down. Good. Hands to the hips, soften the knees. Just take a couple big hip circles. Just release that work. I know that was hard work in the pelvis. All right. Second side. Right foot to the wall. Left foot presses down, and then pause right here. Right. Make sure that your foot is as high as the hip, no higher. See if you can anchor the right hip towards the ground so the hips are level. And reach the arms up. And then rotate to the right. Maybe if your left hand reaches, push the fingertips into the wall. That will give you more power to twist. And then keep hugging the right hip down as you twist. Push down through the ground, push into the wall. As you push, you'll create more and more space upwards. Good. Slowly come on out, reach both arms up, and then just lift the foot away from the wall, squeeze it up a little bit, and lower the leg down. Hands together to the heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Just acknowledge the energy you're feeling in the body through these shapes, right? You're waking up all the nadis, the energy channels. Good. Float your arms up. Exhale, bow forward and fold. Good. Let's take a forward fold at the wall. So walk yourself to the wall. I'm about a foot distance away. Soften the knees so you can really let the upper body get even lower. And then let the back push into the wall as you straighten your legs, and maybe you reach the arms up. And feel your belly contract. Feel this essence of Uddiyana Bandha here. As you push the back into the wall, you should feel a nice little vacuum of the navel being hugged up and under the ribs. And slowly bring the hands down to the ground. Walk your feet away from the wall. and come on down. Are you guys doing okay? How are we doing on time? We're doing great on time. All right, so let's keep going. So we're going to work now on splits pose. We've done splits together before at the wall or not. So we're going to go back into our lunge. And take your left knee at the crevice between the floor and the wall. My knee is padded. Blocks for your hands, and step your right foot again into the lunge. And now instead of staying in the lunge, start to straighten your right leg and let the heel glide forward. So we've just done some really nice hamstring opening through those standing shapes, through those standing twists, and maybe take the hands higher onto your blocks. And now you have this really wonderful opportunity to push left foot into wall and press down through the right heel. Now again, what's happening, the hips are being kept honest. The hips have to stay level. If you have energy pushing back through the left leg and energy through the right leg, it's going to keep your hips level. So instead of going into the joint flexibility, you're now hugging in with the muscle and keeping the joint very safe as opposed to letting it just kind of relax and crash towards the ground. And then after a few moments, maybe there's a little bit more space and you can slide the heel a little further. But again, pause and push heel down through the ground, push left foot into the wall. We're doing this very safely, very concretely. Good. And then let's come on out, switch sides. You can switch sides by taking both knees to the wall. And then bring your left foot forward. And then make sure you set yourself up well. Make sure everything is level for you. And when you're ready, you can start to guide your left heel forward into the splits. Now each side is different, so go slow. And hands are on your blocks. And then pause at the first place of resistance. And push the right foot into the wall. Push the left heel into the ground. And you'll see how the pelvis literally squares itself. It rights itself. Feel this really nice stretch in the right hip flexor, but it feels good. Like it feels supported. It doesn't feel like you're doing it at the expense of the joint. After this contraction, maybe you have a little bit more space and you can glide a little bit more forward and then pause. And again, push right foot into the wall, push left heel down through the ground and breathe. Good. And then slowly push down through your hands to come on out. And then again, take both knees to the wall, feet up, and lower your hands down to the ground and elbows down to the ground. And we're in the Sphinx pose with your knees and feet pushing into the wall. And take a block, take one of your blocks again on the narrowest width and place it in between your thighs. You can even place it closer if you want. You can push it right between your knees. Squeeze it with the knees. Good. And then just pause here and come into Crocodile Pose. So knees push into the wall. Knees are squeezing the block. Feet are pushing into the wall. And then instead of letting like yourself kind of flatten out, have this little sense of hugging in. So you're trying to suction the belly away from the ground in opposition to gravity. Hmm. So even though you're kind of lying down, there's a lot of action. It's almost like you're trying to be like a little worm, right? You know how the worm has to contract its whole underside to do that little loop and to pull its back body forward to its front body. So imagine that you're doing that. You're pushing your feet into the wall, but at the same time trying to drag your knees towards your rib cage. Hmm. Good. And then keep that action going and come on up onto your elbows. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Push feet into the wall. Squeeze the block. And like a little worm, try to pull your knees to the rib cage so the underside is contracting, right? And what the contraction is doing is that it's keeping your low back protected and healthy as you explore this back bend. So keep pulling knees towards rib cage. Pull the chest forward. Good. Squeeze the block with your knees. And then lower down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulder heads back. And now lift up. Keep pulling knees towards ribs. Pull the chest forward and lower down. Squeeze the block with the knees. We'll do this 2 more times. Circle the shoulder heads back. Try to pull your knees to the ribs and then lift yourself up, go up and lower down. Good. One more time. Circle the shoulder heads back. Push feet into the wall. Try to drag your knees like the worm towards the ribs. Go up and lower yourself down and rest. And just let the feet sway side to side. Good. And roll onto one side. Gather your knees and just pause right for a moment, curled up. Use your hands to help yourself upright. All right, guys, we did the hard part. Now let's unwind. So you can take your props a little bit out of the way. And let's do a twist at the wall. So we'll come into Marichyasana, or a version of it, so that I'm sitting with my right hip to the wall and my right foot is stepping over my left knee and my left knee is bent. I'm sitting nice and tall. If you feel unsteady, you could place your blanket underneath the hips. That feels amazing. That really helped me to sit more upright and kind of bolted my spine up. And then right into the twist, and we have the wall. So you can push your hands into the wall, elbow inside or outside the knee, that is. And then use the wall here to help you broaden the collarbones as you twist. Now, again, if you didn't try the blanket under your seat, give it a try. It really helps. It literally like shot my spine straight up as opposed to kind of rolling down. And use your palms on the wall, almost like chaturanga arms, to help pull the wall down. As you pull the wall down, the chest will go higher and then rotate. Maybe you want to gaze over the back shoulder. If that's intense, you can gaze instead over the front shoulder or keep the head in line with the center of your chest. Good. When you're ready, come on out and we'll switch. We'll do the second side. So I'm going to have to turn away from you guys. So now left hip is on the wall and I will use the blanket underneath my seat. And right knee is down and step your left foot right outside the right knee. And again, the blanket really helps to lift my spine straight upwards. And then reach the arm up, right elbow outside your left knee, palms to the wall. And chaturanga hands. So you're bent at the elbows and you're dragging the wall down to lift the chest up as you twist. And then keep the spine really nice and tall, lifting up, straight up and out of the seat. Maybe you gaze back, keep the back of the neck long. Again, you may choose to gaze over the front shoulder instead, or maybe keep the chin in line with the center of your chest. So we did a lot of twisting today. Really unwinding the back twists are so great for the health of the spine. Every time you twist, you're creating space between the vertebrae. And some back bending, of course, and some core. I hope that was enough. We'll see. I'll know. She'll tell me if that was enough. Good. And come on out. And as you come out, just pause. Pause and observe. Let the twist kind of wash over you. Good. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and lie down onto our backs with your feet to the wall. I'm going to take my last sip of my hydration beverage and have your blanket handy and have your blocks handy. So I'm going to be maybe about a foot away from the wall. And we're going to continue our twists and take a block between your knees. Let the knees fall to the right so that your feet can push into the wall and extend the right arm out. So I'm squeezing the knees into the block, feet push against the wall, and I'm twisting. So this is a nice, as you can maybe feel in your body or maybe see on your video screen, that with this setup, my hips are very, like, I need to move this blanket out. Hips, you want the hips to be very perpendicular to the ground. So keep reaching the right knee into the block, and then you can roll yourself open. And then take a moment, push hand and knee together. Really push, 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 push. And then see if that gives you more space to open up. And then reach the pelvis to the wall as you twist. That will give you more and more space. And then slowly come on out, bring the feet up over the hips, feet to the wall. Readjust yourself at the center. And then when you're ready, take the knees to the right side. And then squeeze the block. Take a peek at your pelvis. See that the pelvis is stacked perpendicular to the ground. And then reach the left arm open. Yeah, guys see that? And then take a moment, right hand to your left knee, push hand and knee together, and then see if that gives you more turn in the ribs. And then try that again. Squeeze the block, push hand and knee together, and then see if you have a little bit more leverage. And then pull your hips to the wall. So you're creating length as you twist. side. And then come on out, bring the knees back to center. Ah, feels amazing. So take your blanket underneath the sacrum and you can scoot yourself a little closer to the wall. Now you're truly doing the warm as you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's it. And then the blanket should be slightly away from the wall, so it's underneath your low back and sacrum. And let's come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Oh, hello, Mr. Ant. I don't want you on me. Okay. So soles of the feet together, knees open wide. And as you push feet into each other, press your sacrum down into the blanket and then notice the stretch that comes in. So here we are anchored between the floor and the wall, right? Normally we're doing this shape seated upright. And when we're upright, the spine can do all kinds of things, right? It can round, it can collapse, it can arch. But here between the floor and the wall, the heels are anchored. Keep pushing feet into each other and into the wall. Keep pushing the sacrum into the ground so the spine is neutral and perfectly flat, right? Perfectly neutral as it is right here. And notice how much more stretch you can get through the inner thighs, right? So that's the beauty of using the wall. Of course, you could do all of this if you didn't have a wall with a partner, but your partner would have to be quite yoga savvy and experienced to help you do all these shapes and be almost like a wall for you, right? But a wall is a great partner too. And just a couple more breaths, really getting into those inner legs. And I'm very active. I'm pushing feet actively into the wall, pushing sacrum actively into the ground, and my knees are growing apart from one another. And then let that effort go. Bring the knees together into your chest for a moment, and then take the legs up the wall. If you want, you can shimmy your pelvis a little closer so that your seat can touch the wall. That's it. And set up here for our Shavasana and meditation. You can maybe let the arms go up overhead and just give the legs a little shake and wiggle. Make sure that there's no tension. Wiggle the feet side to side and really let the sacrum anchor down through your blanket down into the ground. Turn your head side to side. Make sure there's no residual tension in the neck. We've really wrung out the spine today, right? The spine is the center of your nervous system, right? That connects your brain to your limbs. We wrung it out every direction. So the spine should feel very energized. Legs should feel detoxed, if you will. That's it. And take a big breath in. Let it out. Inhale through your nose. And out the mouth. Last breath in through your nose. Out through the mouth. Shavasana. Take another deep breath in through your nose and sigh out the mouth. And bring the knees down into your chest and let the knees fall to one side. Pause again on your side, curled up. I'm going to call this our reset switch, right? This pose right here in between Shavasana and the rest of your day is your reset. You've just rebooted your battery, gave your body a shutdown, and now you're resetting, rebooting up to hopefully have a better day, more powered, more restored. And slowly come on upright. See if you can keep the eyes closed, maybe prop the hips up on your blanket. Let your hands rest on the knees, soften the shoulders. Feel the spine climb upwards. Maybe have the palms in this open configuration, right? Palms turned up towards the sky. And again, this is a gesture I understand as both receiving and giving. So receiving the gifts of this practice, receiving the energy that your body deserves, that you deserve. And as you refuel yourself, there's enough left over that you can then offer it out through your palms back to those around you. Mm. Bring your hands in prayer to the heart. Take a breath in through your nose and out the mouth. Wish you all this wonderful day. Namaste.